Welcome to Cougar Football with Kevin Donnelly. It was the first time since 1999 that the NAIA presented us with a number 1 versus number 2 regular season matchup on the football field. St. Xavier University traveled down from Chicago to Bishop Darcy Stadium and took a 42-31 victory back with them.
Well, you want to try to find the positives in everything, and I'll start out with the downside first. Obviously very disappointed in our performance. The fact that we lost the game only by 11 points and played as poorly as we did, particularly on the offensive side. We made mistakes in all 3 phases of our game. Good teams have a tendency to do that to you. So we want to give credit to St. X. They're a great football team, but I don't feel like that we're outmatched, outleagued. We were just outplayed on Saturday. So, you know, then you look at the positives from it, where you got to take a negative and turn it into a positive, so you got to make that a learning experience. And what we learned out of that is that the same concern I had before we ever went into the season. I think on an August 15th media day, I was asked the question, you know, what's your concern? Is it your defensive line? Is it this? Is it that? My concern was immaturity. A lot of young players, guys that hadn't been in a leadership role before. We're going to have to assume that and understand what that meant. Doesn't mean going out for a coin toss or doing jumping jacks. There's certain elements of that. So what happened to us is there was a momentum change with 2 minutes to go in the half. And we're still up, but instead of being up by 10, we were up by 1, you know. So we go in the locker room, and I thought we'd bounce right back, and I assumed wrong. I should have attacked it more aggressively, that we needed to turn momentum immediately, and we never got it turned in the second half. We particularly played sluggishly on offense. You can't do that against a great defense, the number 1 team. You know, you got to come out with fire in your belly and make it happen. So a lot of it is a mental discipline. It's a mindset that you have to understand and know within yourself when things, when momentum goes the other way, how to handle it. And it's a matter of toughness. Tough game for men, not little boys. Things happen out there on the football field. People got to understand that. It's a game of violence. It's a game of toughness, one-on-one and vicious contacts. Those things happen. The momentum, as I said, took place from the last 2 minutes of the first half and then carried over. And I did not attack aggressively enough at the halftime of getting that momentum change back. So I accept responsibility. Ultimately, everything that happens in this football program falls back into my lap. Yeah, I got to get coaches to coach and players to play, and ultimately, top to bottom, bottom back up to top. So I didn't get our football team mentally ready to get momentum change as we started the second half. So therefore, we did not play a good half. Again, I give credit to our opponent. At the same time, all of our players know that we didn't play our best football.
Not the best football, but kick returner Austin Coleman did achieve a milestone as he tied Daniel Carter for the school record with most kickoff returns for a touchdown in a career with 3. And the junior only needed 5 games to do it, but it did not come without a cost.
Well, Austin's a great athlete. He's a great young man. Obviously, he's a big play guy that we're going to miss. We hope to get him back here in 3 or 4 weeks. But he did receive a shoulder separation, and we're just hoping the good Lord heals that as quickly as possible so we can get him back. The good Lord and Dr. Hicks, if they can get him well and back, we'd certainly appreciate that. Yeah, he did. He responded with a big play after a big play. So he will be missed, but we're going to have some other guys step up until we can get him back. Can't say enough about him. And you're right. You know, he responded after we took a punch. He came right back and threw one. So I've got to get everybody else who's on that football field to do the same thing. When we get one, give 2 back. So.
One player that coach won't have to worry about is Brody Callball. The middle linebacker from Fishers, Indiana, missed the school record for tackles in a game by 1 when he faced the number 1 team in the country. He had 17 tackles with 2.5 tackles for a loss and a fumble recovery.
Well, he's from a good bloodline. They coached his dad 30-some years ago, and he was a heck of a linebacker, and Brody has inherited that. Probably a little faster than Daddy, but certainly the same toughness and instincts. Yeah, and he had a great game. There's no question about that. And he's one of these guys that he leads by his play, and as he matures, it is definitely our job as coaches to make him understand, because of his outstanding play, he's also got to assume some leadership role and understanding what that is and how we get momentum changed. And I tell you, Brody threw those punches all day. He fought, he played tough, played well.
Brody is a good guy, man. He a big, strong guy. I mean, you can say he's the meat in our defense. He big in the weight room. He's a prototypical linebacker, I would say, as far as like the neck roll and always yelling and screaming and stuff. He's a good guy, man. He works hard. He plays hard. He has a lot of energy, which I think rubs off on all of our all the defense and all the team. He's a leader, and it's really fun. Last year we were competing for a spot, so our relationship was kind of, if so, it wasn't always the best. We obviously were competing, so we didn't hang out as much. But this year, since we're playing right next to each other, I think we kind of fit like a glove. We've just been studying together, studying film, talking to each other and communicating, and we've been playing pretty well together. He's been playing well all season, as far as his statistics. He's our leading tackler, and he flies around, has a lot of assists. He's a good player. He's been a big player for us every single game, and last week he came up with the same performance. I knew that was going to happen. I knew he was going to come up and play a big game for us.
With his performance, fifth-year senior Solomon Grimes was able to match the fire that Callball was bringing.
I don't think that I'm the big-time player on our defense. We have other players that can make those plays, but being a fifth-year guy, that did come through my mind in the end that, this is my last time around. There's no professional for me. There's no, going to the next level for me. So that clicked in my mind, and I said, it's got to start now. And so that's pretty much how it all came about. I just started flowing downhill more, started reading their plays more, and by the time I got the hang of it, I was making plays in their backfield. So, my goal was going into the game was to definitely set myself apart and to be a big playmaker for this game. I think we did that. In the end, though, we just didn't do it all the way to where we could have won the game. So,
when you hear Coach talk about the immaturity of the team, he speaks of the rules that make up his Cougar program. When rules are broken by individuals, it's the team that suffers.
It hurts. It's definitely important. Whatever coach wants us to do as a team, it's important that you do what the coach asks you to do. But being a leader is doing everything right all the time, even when it doesn't feel good. Even when you don't want to. Coach Donnelly's our leader. When he tells us to do something, we need to do it. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it's gonna be. So when you see older guys not doing what is asked of them, it's hard, definitely. But that's when other leaders have to step up and say to them, tell them, hey man, we need you. We need you to do what Coach asked us to do, and we need you to be there on time every day. Because these young players look to you, man. When I came in, I was always looking at older players, how they do, how they react. Were they showing up? You know what I'm saying? Because if they're not held accountable, why would I be accountable? I'm a scout team player. Those guys. At St. Francis, what I love about this program is there's a legacy here. There's a commitment to excellence, and that's not only in football, that's not only in school, but it's like in the small things, punctuality. It's in character. It's in many different things, and I think that's what Coach Donnelly has brought to this program and to every young man that's came through this program.
We make mistakes. We have. We turned the ball over 6 times versus St. X, #1 ranked team in the nation, and we still only lost by 11 points. We get those things corrected, we can be a dangerous team, we can be a playoff team, we can go as far as we want to go. It's just all on us, what we do. It's not what the other team does. If we play down to their level, it'll be kind of lackadaisical, but if we play to the level that we're capable of, we're unstoppable, and we'll get to that ultimate goal in that national championship.
When Bryce Thornton left the football field Saturday, he left with his first collegiate touchdown, which he was able to do in front of his biggest fans with his parents in attendance. 4 receptions, 112 yards, some big-time catches, and huge situations. Bryce has been preparing for this moment for a while.
My dad had a stroke at the late December, and it was a pretty catastrophic stroke. It was pretty severe. And he was one of my biggest fans. And not long after that, my mom found out that she might have cancer. And I felt like going into this season, I wasn't playing for just myself anymore. I was playing for my family, because my dad couldn't work anymore. My mom was just kind of scared, and I was scared. And I feel like going into this season, I had to play more for just me, play more for my family, more for my team. And I feel like with those events that happened, it gave me a stronger drive, and it renewed my passion for football. And I think that that's what helped me take to the next level, get stronger, to get faster, and to get coached more comfortable with my abilities. I just know we got the ball at the 40-yard line. Excellent return, I think. Coach goes, let's run black out, let's try to get him here. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And he goes, sell the move. And it's a double move that I ran. And I just took off with my head down, gave a fake outside, and the corner bit on it, and I was wide open, and he threw the ball, and the next thing I know, I was in the end zone, just kind of I couldn't tell you what happened in between. This football took over, and next thing I know, I'm in the end zone getting patted on. It was actually a gold check, one of our things. We didn't want to run one play, so we checked to a new play, and I am the hot read on that play, and I knew that I had to get out quick, and because the forward backer was coming on a blitz, and I got out, and the ball was a little off, so I just felt like I could get my hands on it. If I could just leave myself a little bit to catch the ball and make a play, I could. And I got my hands on the ball, and I was still up. I was surprised because I lost a lot of momentum. Figured I was going to fall down, but my feet just kept going, and next thing I know, I'm running to the 5. And if I would have known the guy was coming to the right, I would have dove for the end zone. That's the one thing I would have done differently, but I didn't see him coming, and I got tackled at the 1. So.
When fans and the media left Saturday, some left with an uncomfortable feeling about quarterback Justin Bozier, after throwing 4 interceptions to go with 268 yards and a touchdown. But the wide receiver from New Haven, Indiana, believes that the team is still headed in the right direction. Me and Bozier
we're close teammates. I have his back through thick and thin. No one's perfect. You can't find anybody that's perfect. Things go wrong, he'll get the blame because he's the quarterback, but a lot of that really wasn't his fault. He's just out there doing what he needs to do, his job, and sometimes things don't go his way. He'll get the finger point at him, but he's doing a great job. He's leading this team, I think, at a good level, and I got his back no matter what happens. If wall comes down, I'll be there to try to push the wall back up. So, I mean, he's doing a good job. I don't want him to listen to all that other stuff. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and he'll get us there. So. The best thing is to keep a positive attitude. I don't care if you're not playing. If you can do a role and keep somebody up, help people through adversity. Because I don't care if you're Tom Brady. If someone points a finger at you, it's gonna start adding up. And if more people do that, but if you have people on your side, you have people pushing you, people egging you, like just keep going, doing your thing. It does wonders. And I feel like when I wasn't playing, I was a good teammate because I just pushed people and I was a good job. And if you're out there on the field congratulating people after even the little things like a good block and stuff like that, it really adds up. And if more and more people start doing that, even if they're not playing, they'll feel like they're more part of the team. And when they do get their opportunity and someone else gives them a compliment after doing something like that, it means a lot. It'll go a long way. And now with one loss under their belt, the Cougars still have dreams of a longer season, with 6 regular season games still left to go. I feel like we're focused. We're going to take it one game at a time because right now we're in a spot where we have to take it one game at a time. Every game from now on is our most important game. I feel like we're focused. It was kind of a good thing and a bad thing that we lost because now we know what it feels like and we don't want to feel like that anymore. We want to get that bitter taste out of our mouth, and I feel like we're focused, we're ready for the opponent during our week, and I feel like it's going to stay strong because a lot of people just hate to lose and they know what it feels like now, and we don't want to have that feeling ever again. The team we have, like I said, we're dangerous. When we're playing on the levels that we need to play, we're playing on our own level, there's no one in the nation that can stop us, and we have to believe that. You can't have any ounce of doubt in you. As long as you believe, you can do wonders. You can keep going wherever you want to go.
Up next, the Cougars will travel to Fawcett Stadium in Canton, Ohio.
Well, Jim Dennison was a very successful coach at the University of Akron before he started the Walsh program, and he was ousted after a championship playoff year so that they could hire Jerry Faust. One of those things that's really unfortunate in intercollegiate athletics, somebody looking for a quick fix to bigger and better things, and they were on their way to the MAC at that time, so they took a great football coach and a great man in Jim Dennison and put him to pasture. And you know, Jim, I think 72 years old, but he started that program at Walsh and has done an excellent job. You know, I think we have played them 14 times, if I'm not mistaken, since '98, and they beat us the first time on our field in triple overtime, and we were a bunch of puppies. Since then, we have dominated that series. We won 13 in a row. And I think Jim probably would have retired 4, 5, 6 years ago if he could knock us off one time. Now, I think he has announced that this is going to be his final season. He's going to go and lay on the beach down in Florida, and nothing would be more meaningful to him than to knock us off. So I mean, I know they're going to be ready to play. They're struggling this year. They were 5-0 when we played them a year ago, and we had a dogfight. We came out on top 20-14. But they're struggling right now. They're 1-5, but a pretty good 1-5 team. Took Marion down the wire last week at 2013, had their opportunities to win, let it slip away. So, you know, they're going to come out fired up and ready to take it to us. So, you know, we're going to have to be tougher this week. We're the better football team. I think we're the better athletes. But it's not about individual one-on-ones. It is technically, but it's all how it comes together as a team. So we've got to come together as a team. We've got to fight as a team. We've got to be tough as a team. We've got to overcome adversity as a team. And I can guarantee you it will happen more than I can count on one hand, where there will be momentum changes and we get punched in the mouth. So I'm anxious to see how we're going to respond this week. I have tremendous respect for him. I think he's a great coach and a great person.
Dennison may be a great person, but the Cougars are ready to get back on track, and that includes a victory over the Cavaliers. Here are Coach D's keys to success.
Pick ourselves up off the ground. What are we going to do after a setback? It requires toughness. It requires coming together. It is knowing how to change momentum in situations. And I'm working awfully hard this week, preaching the word, both collectively and individually, as many of those that I possibly can. Again, I love our kids. We got great kids. And everything that I've asked them to do, they have done. And this is one that is going to be monumental in just how far this football team will go, because that has to be done.
Be sure to tune in to Catholic Redeemer Radio, WLYV 1450 AM, or watch us live on our livestream.com channel, USF Cougars. Coverage begins at 11:45 a.m. Thanks for watching, and go Cougars.